they stay there.
Hey guys, Tone here again. Bringing you a video this time. The Gene thing didn't work out. He wanted me to hold off posting it for his personal reasons. So we're gonna hold off posting that. So I figured I'd get one in for you on a meat video, pre-meat, meat day, and post-meat stuff. Saw a lot of questions on that and what to do, what to think about, how to deal with it. So I thought it was a good topic to talk about today. Basically, just get into it. Again, feel free to hit me up with video suggestions and stuff like that. I'm always looking for suggestions. I got plenty still on my list to do, but I have a good time with them. So if you're enjoying watching them, feel free to send me ideas or things that you'd like to see. Pre-meat. For the most part, we take about a week off before a meet, especially as raw. Geared, I've known guys to take 2 weeks off. If they're training really hard in the gear and they've had a really heavy and good training cycle, I've known guys to have 2 weeks off before a meet. Maybe not completely off. Maybe they'll go in and get some blood flow work and some real light, high rep stuff. Nothing that really challenges, just to keep moving. But for the most part, when our raw guys are off for a week, you don't do anything. You enjoy your home life, enjoy your family. Now's the time to do your other hobbies. Like I happen to play poker. I like to play poker a little bit. So I'll play some poker online, just stuff like that. Just to relax and not have to go to the gym, not have to stress, not have to think about training, not have to think about the meet, and just enjoy some downtime. Everybody says, I feel like I'm getting weaker. I feel like I'm getting weaker. You're all in your head. You're not. You're giving your body. If you can train every week and you can squat 500 every week, that week in, week out, with no rest, you're training still every week, you're still hitting those same numbers every week, and you're still squatting 5. When you get a week off, your body recovers. It gets all that energy back. It's not tired already. It's not pre-fatigued. You're going to go to the meet and you're going to hit some crazy shit. Now, I know people that have said, no, it doesn't work for me that way. I got to train right up to the meet or I don't feel... Well, then do it your way. You shouldn't be watching this video. I don't know what to tell you. But for the most part, we take about a week off for meets. Pre-meet, as far as peaking, some people peak, some people prepare. I know there are plenty of cycles out there that, people peak for and they train up to a certain point, like Smolov, where you're going to peak at a certain time. And then there's programs like the Cube where you're just going into the meet prepared to lift. I prefer prepared. I don't think you need if you're strong, you're strong. You don't need a peak phase to work up. Now, not saying Westside isn't with their, conjugate phases and stuff like that is not correct, but I don't think there's a peak phase for anyone. It's not like a bodybuilding contest where you need to be, top physical, shredded condition. You got to go in strong. You got to go in feeling good and strong. And if you're training hard every day and you're doing that and you're a strong person, you should be ready to do a meet. You should be ready to go to the meet and hit the number and hit some numbers. It's not, I don't think you need a peak. Risk versus reward. That last 2 weeks, really think about the movements that you're doing, the things that you're doing. You're not going to get stronger in a week. Strength is a long-term game. You're not going to get stronger in a week. You're not going to get stronger in 2 weeks. So you may still push, but those last few weeks should be really dialing in what you need to do for the meet. Don't go, squatting a 98% max 2 weeks out. Take your opener, cut it. There's no need to go to your second attempt. There's no need to go to your third attempt. There's no need to put reverse bands on and try and hit a third attempt. You're risking too much there, in my opinion, to then go to the meet and lift. Hit your opener, shut it down, go to the meet. There's no sense in, you did all this training and then you wind up getting hurt for something stupid, a week or so out before the meet, 2 weeks out before the meet. Bad move. I'm not going to speak too much on this. I don't know enough, but I do know just from what I've seen as training partners of mine, cutting and rehydrating. You always hear us say this. First meet, don't bother. Unless you're setting some kind of record, don't go into your first 1 or 2 meets looking to cut weight. Just go have fun and find out what it's about. You're going to have plenty of other stuff on your mind than to worry about cutting 4 pounds, dehydrating down 6 pounds. Don't worry. Unless you're setting some kind of record. It's not necessary. Just go and have a good time. Figure out what it's like. Do your thing. However, if you are looking to go and you are a more experienced lifter, you've had 4 or 5 meets under your belt, now you're looking to go in and start, cut the right way. Don't try and kill yourself overnight. Have I seen it done? Yeah. I know a guy down in Maryland who did a 30-pound cut, something like that, and rehydrated. It was sick and amazing. I've never seen anybody else be able to do it. But, you shouldn't be cutting 10 pounds 2 days before, all water. You're going to feel some effects of that. But like I said, I don't want to do too much on that, but make sure you're doing it the right way. Make sure you talk to people who are experienced at doing it and know how to do it and know how to do it right, so that you're not going in and feeling just dead off of a cut. Picking openers. The way Jersey Iron picks openers, we pick an opener that's light enough that we know we can hit, and our second attempt is usually a PR at a meet. So if my best squat right now is 685, I'd go in with an opener of like 675, 665. My next set is going to be 690, 695, 700 is going to be the second, because we take that second as a PR. This way, if anything goes wrong or if anything screws up or something just stupid happens, you forget the squat command or the something like that, you can take it again. You still have that shot to take it again and get it. So that's just the way we work it. I know some people work it differently, but we usually work to go our PR on the second attempt. If you're a brand new lifter, go in with something you know you can triple on an opener. That's the rule of thumb, and it's a good rule of thumb. Open with something you know you can triple, and then make a jump. And that's going to go along with the last thing I have, which is set goals before a meet. Set 3 kinds of goals. I want you to set the realistic goals. What you know you can go in and hit. A squat opener of 500, a bench opener of 315, and a deadlift opener of 515. Go in with those numbers, say, and those are your openers. You know you can hit them any day of the week. Sick, you can hit them. Those are realistic openers. There's your real goals. So those are your goals for your first attempt. Then set next set of goals. Next set of goals should be numbers that you're pretty sure you can hit, but are going to be rough or going to be PRs. That should be your second set of goals. So for me, on a bench, I'm going to open probably at my best bench right now is 540. I'm going to open probably 525. My next bench would be 545, 550. Okay, so that's my next goal is 550. So I'd probably go 550 and make that 550 jump and try and hit 550. And then the third set of goals, which is swing away. Shoot for the stars on that one. So my third goal would be something like 565. I'd open 525, go to 550, and then 565, something like that, a smaller jump. But I'm really swinging. I'm really, on a good day I can hit it. On a bad day I don't. So those are my swing for the stars, goals. You have something to hit along the way. And what that does is it keeps you interested in the meet. If you don't hit all your squats, you still have goals to set on the bench. But this all also goes together with meet, the total that you want. So you kind of have to put all this together as a giant puzzle. Each meet you should be going in with a goal in your head as to what's most important. Sometimes the total isn't the most important thing. Sometimes somebody wants to go and pull. For me, for example, I want a 600-pound full meet bench one day. That's a big goal of mine. 600-pound full meet bench. It's also a goal to pull a full meet 800. So sometimes the total may not be that important, or you've screwed up the squat and you're not going to set a PR total today. So your new focus is now on the bench PR or the deadlift PR. So that's what you shoot for. That's where you call numbers around to try and get to that PR. So you still have a positive out of the day. Just because you had a bad squat and you're not going to PR total, you want to keep yourself interested in the meet. You want to keep yourself motivated, and those goals give you the chance to do that without just going, well, I screwed up the squat. I'm not going to hit a PR total now. Fuck this. Who cares? No, you don't want to do that. So set different goals for yourself and talk to your partners about this. Talk to somebody who's there to handle you about this, about what you're looking to do, and have some scenarios in your head. If I didn't get this, I want to go here. But if I get it, here's where I'm looking to go. I want this total, but should the total fall apart or I'm not going to make that total, here's some other goals that I have in mind. That's all I got for pre-meet. So we'll get into the meet stuff now. At the meet, the way we go into it, I know there's a lot of differences here. A lot of people like to go into the meet and just be, the super hardcore types and sit in the corner and don't talk to me and leave me alone and I'll warm up and I'll do my thing and I'll go out. I can't do that. That's not the way I do it. That's not my Jersey Iron does it. Our team doesn't do it that way. So I'm going to speak to the way we do it. We're loose. We go in, we crack jokes, we bust balls, we do the same thing we do in training at a meet. This way, it's familiar to you. You don't have time to sit and go, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, because hey, Tim Gale's busting my chops over here, and Jason Kenworthy's over here busting my balls, and Rooster's staring at me from back here and making me crazy, and so we like to keep it loose. Now there are other crews like that enjoy that with us. Bergen County Barbell, those guys are a riot, man. We have a blast every time we get together with them, and it kind of goes nuts. On the opposite end of that, Anthony DeTillo is a very serious, focused lifter. So I can't do that with him. I respect him enough that I know, I can say something to him, and I know he'll think it's funny, but he may not look it. But I don't want to mess with him too much. He's real focused, very, very intense lifter. So he doesn't do things that way. So I tend to stay kind of away from him. We'll talk and be best friends after the meet. It's great. Hey, what's up? And we're very close crews. I love John Bott's whole crew, David Kirshner and a bunch of those guys. But DeTillo handles his meets a little differently. So that's one way of doing it, and we kind of let him go. We tend to be loose and having a good time and having fun, and you focus on your lifts when it's time. But when you come out from under that bar, it's time to let go a little. Relax. Let the tension out. You're going to have a second attempt. It's coming up. But in the meantime, in that 20 minutes or 15 minutes you have between attempts, take some breaths. Have a good time. Crack some jokes. Talk with your guys. And don't just sit there going, no, I got to go again. I got to go again. I got to go again. That takes too much energy out of you. Have a strategy. We talked about this a little bit with the set goals. Have an idea of what you're looking to do and where you're looking to go. And if it doesn't work out, what adjustments will you make? Do you think you can put more weight on is your best lift a deadlift? You can make up weight there. Is your best lift a bench? Do you have to make up weight there? I know my worst lift is my squat, so I always try and make it up on the bench and the deadlift because I can make it up on those lifts. Anything I miss in the squat, I try and make up on those lifts, maybe put my attempts a little higher. So those are the kind of strategies we go in with. Again, I talked about the goals versus the total. Have set different goals in my head for what I want to bench, or hey, my squat went to shit, but I want to do this on the bench, or I want to push that up on the deadlift and see if I can hit that. Have those different goals in mind. It keeps you interested in the meet. It keeps you focused. It keeps you driving. Know when to save some energy. If you go out and take a second attempt and it's a balls to the wall attempt, there's no need. You don't need to go be hardcore and take a third attempt and go up there and go, I'm going to get pinned, but I'm going to yell a lot and look good for the crowd. Don't. It doesn't matter you're looking for a crowd and getting pinned. You're tired now. Now the bar's pinned you, you're tired, and you've got less energy for the bench and the deadlift where you could make weight up. You could push more on that. Don't bother. If you really kill yourself. Now, I'm not saying if you think you have any inkling of a third attempt, I'm not saying pass it. Do it. But if you know that second attempt was all you had in you that day, and you want to save some energy, you need that energy for a big bench or for a big pull, do that. Know when to do that. Know when to push and when to pull back. It shouldn't happen often, but occasionally you do. You need to just pull back and say, I'm passing my third. Enjoy it. We just talked about this too. Make sure you're enjoying the meet. I know guys that go to these meets after 3, 4, 5 months of hard training, and the meet passes them by, and it's like, oh fuck, you just put all your energy into the meet, and you're so focused on what's next that you didn't have a good time. You forgot to breathe and enjoy it and have a good time with it. To me, that's your goal. The meet's the goal. The training sucks. I hate waking up every Saturday morning and going to train. I can't stand every Monday night going to bench. I'm tired then. I don't want to fucking go do that. So I do it because when I come Saturday, when there's a meet, I can hit some big numbers and be happy and enjoy myself and have some pride in myself and in my team and enjoy that. So make sure you're enjoying it. Stay fed and hydrated. Make sure you have some food. Make sure you have some drink. Make sure you're taking that in and keeping yourself up all day. I've seen a lot of people, they don't eat anything all meet, and then they wonder why the deadlift comes and they're just dead. One good trick I learned from a guy named Mike Ski, who used to be part of Jersey Iron, train with us for a while. We called him Pooh Bear because he would just eat honey like crazy. And we're like, Mike, what are you doing? He goes, this stuff works. It's amazing. I'm telling you. And he'd go through a bottle of honey during a meet. So we said, all right, well, we'll give it a shot. It's amazing. Honey is a nice little tip. Bring some honey with you and just take it between attempts. It's a nice little trick. Mike Ski was one of the most valuable things Mike Ski taught me was honey at meets. It really is a good energy booster, and it really does work and carries you for a long period of time. It's not just that regular insulin spike and gone. It carries you. It's nice. And finally, find some motivation. I like to go to meets. Now, I don't know that a lot of people do this. I've never actually even talked to anybody about this on whether they do it or not. It's just something that when I was going through and trying to make notes on what I do at meets or what the things I wanted to talk about were, this is one of the things that popped in my head. Every meet I go to, I try and find some motivation. One meet was a guy named Giovanni who wasn't a powerlifter. I mean, he's really not. The guy was going to med school and just kind of lifting on the side, but he wanted to do a meet. And I think he pulled something like 400 pounds. It was a deadlift of 400 pounds. The guy was, 181, 198. It's not a lot of weight. But the heart he had to pull that because it was heavy for him. The heart, I think it took him 3 minutes to pull the deadlift. It was sick. It was sick to watch. I literally had time to sit there, watch him. My jaw dropped. I looked at my partner, Tim, and went, Tim's looking at me the same way. We were like, holy shit. And looked back, and he's still pulling. And he got it. So another meet was a little girl named Layla, a redhead girl at an RPS meet. Cute little thing. Killed herself. Wanted to push. She's actually wanted to push more, and Dad wouldn't let her. Dad was actually kind of pulling her back, and you could see her anger, like, Dad, I want to go. And he's trying to protect her. She's a 9-year-old girl, something like that, I believe. Sorry, Lay, if you're watching this. I don't remember how old you were exactly, but 9 or 10, I think. And he's pulling her back. And she wants to go. That motivates me. I see things like that, these little kids lifting, and these kids looking at you while you're lifting and wanting to emulate what we're doing. And it doesn't always have to be a kid. Some adults, just anybody there, dude. It's not always the strongest person that has to motivate you. It's a guy with the most heart. The guy who's out there actually busting his ass to get a lift. The guy who trains in a friggin' Planet Fitness in the middle of nowhere because there's no other powerlifters around him and just comes to a meet with nobody knows him. He has no clue who anybody is, and he's just there lifting on his own, trying to do something with himself. That's motivating. I love that kind of person. It tells me that they've got heart. It tells me that they've got drive beyond the normal person because they're doing this on their own. And that just motivates the shit out of me. I love that kind of stuff. Post-meet. Rest. Everybody wants to go right back into the gym after the meet. I can't take off. I got to go. Blah, blah, blah. Why? Rest again. You've taken that week off before the meet. You've put your body through hell after the meet. Now, we take off a week after a meet. Jersey Iron takes off a week after a meet. Raw guys. When I was geared, there were times when I'd take 2 weeks off. Again, just like before the meet, it wouldn't be maybe completely off. I'd go in, work a little bit, do some stuff. But the first week was usually completely off. Just letting my body heal and taking the time that I needed to do the other things like we're going to talk about here after a meet. Analyze things and stuff like that. But rest your body. You've put it through hell. If you've given everything you've had at a meet and you've hit some hard grinding numbers, you're going to be tired. Allow yourself to come back so that you can train at your full potential. If you go right back into training, you're risking injury, you're tired, you haven't had a break, and you're risking metal burnout too because you've just been pushing with no kind of break. Post-meet again. Use that time. Use that time to evaluate what worked, what didn't, where are my weaknesses, what did I learn from this meet, how do I plan to make that better, how do I plan to fix that, and then come up with a way to work. Come up with movements that highlight that weakness that you can work on. Come up with ways to fix it. Go talk to people about how to fix it or what you've done or how they did it. That's the time after a meet is when you really know where your weaknesses and strengths are. And those strengths, how did they get strong? Let me make sure I keep doing whatever it is that got me there strong on that point. But what are my weaknesses? And what did I do last cycle that didn't work for me, that showed that weakness, that didn't bring that weakness up? And sometimes you've done everything fine. It's just you're always going to have some kind of weakness, and you need to work that. So just people underestimate the whole after a meet is how important it is and how much more can be done after a meet to really put into the next meet, the next round of training, and the next amount of, the next training cycle's work. You need that time to put 100% of yourself into it, to look at it, analyze it, and work towards it. Set your next set of goals. Okay, so I had a goal to bench 525. I benched it. My next goal was 540. I benched it. My next goal is 550. When I hit that, my next goal is 585. And then eventually, like I said, I want a 600 full meet bench one day. I want that badly. I want a 600-pound bench regardless, but I want a 600-pound full meet bench one day as well. That's really a big goal of mine. I think that would be amazing. And then finally, note your pluses and minuses. Note what you liked about the meet. Note what you did well. Note what you forgot, what you didn't do well. You forgot to bring food. You forgot to put in attempts. You called attempts wrong. You went too high on one, too low on another. Make a list of these things so that you understand what you need to do next time. Where you screwed up. Because then you have a little more confidence for next meet. You could bring that over. If you have partners, try and remember who said what. Who called what numbers for you? Who called a number that you hit with a good grind, but hit it? And who called a number that was 10 pounds more that you wouldn't have got? Or who called a number that was 10 pounds less that you would have smoked? And start learning who to trust and who calls good numbers for you on the different lifts. Sometimes it's the same guy across the board. Some guys call the squat real good. Other guys call the bench real good. Sometimes it's like that. So start putting some energy into thinking about these things or learning these things. And that's the biggest part of the post-meet, is really analyzing what you did to get to the point you're at now, and then bringing that forward. And now you're, again, into pre-meet mode. If you've done everything, you've done all the training, you're again in pre-meet mode. So that's what I got for you. 20 minutes. I tried to keep it short and simple today. I didn't want to make another 40-minute video that people are going to kill me for. I'll try and get some other ones. I'm trying to get these done. Between training, family, and a team, it's tough, but I try and get them in here and there when I can. For everybody out there that's been asking for them, and the people that were talking about, hey, that's manly about how your family motivates you, and the fact that I'm not afraid to say that, you shouldn't be afraid to say that. Powerlifting doesn't pay my bills. Powerlifting doesn't give me anything that is essential to my life. My family does that. So, no, you should never be afraid to say that, and it should never be... people make fun of me for crying. I've cried on the platform. I have tears coming out of my eyes sometimes when I look in the back and I see my wife and kids there and I'm about to pull a lift because of the sacrifices that I've made to do this sport and what they've put up with from me. But, what my wife puts up with every Saturday morning I go away. Every Monday night I come home late and eat dinner, after the kids are in bed. The stuff she does for me, that's love. I mean, I give her all the props in the world. And when I see that, that's motivating to me because all that can't go to waste. I can't let her do all that and me not perform. So, no. Find your motivation. If that's your motivation, if you have kids, a wife, whatever, and that's your motivation, use it and don't be afraid to tell people that. It's hardcore. There's nothing not hardcore about loving somebody. There's nothing not hardcore about, giving back to your family and doing something and appreciation is not hardcore. You can say thank you and not be a pussy. All right. Hope that works for some of you. I hope you like the videos. Again, Power Belly's going to be sending me some pairs of knee wraps. We're going to do a video on those. I'll be kicking Brian Kane's ass to get a knee wrap video done soon. I know we need that. And I promise. Rob Hanlon recently got a camera that he brings to the gym. I'll try and start getting some bench setup videos, deadlift setup videos, squat setup videos. I'll try and get them done. It's just really hard. We got a meet coming up May 17th. Maybe after that meet, I'll start doing some of those where I can take some time after the meet and get set up and do those for you. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to Vinny DeZenzo, who's helped me with my bench training this time around. It has been nothing short of amazing what it's done for me so far. And it's put a shitload of muscle on me. It's put a shitload of strength on me. If you read Vinny's log on EFS, he lays it out there for free. I mean, he basically tells you A to B what he does. And I said, you know what? The guy's benched 600 in 3 different weight classes. I'm going to go give it a shot. I'm going to try it and see what it does. And it has been amazing. It's a lot of work, but I'm 42 years old. I'll be 42 in July. And I'm still able to do it. So there's no reason you can't do it. Vinny himself is I think 40-something. Maybe even a little older than me. I think he's older than me. but he's still hammering. So it's something you can do, and I'm doing it with the squat and deadlift too. It's tough, but it's fun, and it works amazingly well. So thank you, Vinny, for taking the time to talk to me about that. And guys, check out his log. It's amazing. It's amazing the shit he's done with this bench program. So that's it. Good luck, fellas. See you next time.